Hey guys, today in Tech Sovara we're going to be talking about one of Apple's foundational uh, audio video libraries, should we call it? It's called AVKit. Let's jump straight into it. AVKit. Basically, the Apple system works with audio in a pretty standard way in that it just has one layer that it communicates with device drivers, and that layer is really broad. It's called AVKit, and it has a lot of additional libraries and a lot of different levels of how you can use it. Basically, AVKit is if you wanted to create your own custom video functions and tools. If you wanted to create your own audio tools, it has everything from basic playback. So if you wanted to do like a basic playback in a video in an app, to really comprehensive, custom decoding, custom interactions with the lower level aspect of AVKit. So it basically has like the audio part. You can create audio players, audio mixers. Has also the video part, and it has a kind of like a simple player and a complex player. Now, AVKit I've used on a number of applications, everything from video games to social media apps. So for instance, if you were to have a social media app with a video, you would just generally try and use like a streaming linked video. You can use different libraries, like there's AV Player, so not different libraries, but different aspects of the AVKit API. There's something called AV Player, which allows you to kind of generally play a piece of media. And then you have like a, more lower level stuff where you can actually create mixers and audio mixers and, wire up your own, take certain inputs, wire them up. You can create effects. And then there's also video decoding, so you can create your own decoders, encoders if you wanted. The idea is to explore some of the functions and facilities of this library and then see if we can look into creating, something basic at the highest level. So we would have like a simple video player that can play like a video file from the internet. It's really easy to get stuff going, but I think it may be worthwhile to sort of think a little bit about how we would do this. So we would create like a certain view, we'd see if we can find an online video, and then we'll see if we can just play it on a simple Swift UI view. We may need to do some UI view representable stuff, which is the way that you would take, say, an older UIKit view and have that done in Swift UI. So AVKit is generally like, it's the foundational systems that hasn't been fully upgraded to use any of the Swift UI stuff. So guys, let's jump into AVKit. Let's go explore it, and let's do this. Okay, here we are. We have our core point of looking through the documentation and starting on our work. And we always start with AVKit and the Apple developer documentation. Now, people, I just want to mention that you may want in some cases to, quickly knock something up using AI, but I mean, you can do it. I think it's good to do it if you understand the technology, if you understand how it all works. But in general, I would definitely not recommend it in the long term. I think you're going to find yourself kind of relying on it and not really fully understanding how it all works. So I don't actually completely recommend using AI to build things that you're new to. In this case, with AVKit, look, basically, like this says, it's a cross-platform media playback UI framework built on top of AV Foundation and Core Media. So Core Media is a huge library, and AVKit itself sits on top of like a number of layers. Uh, AV Foundation, we'll dig. I'll just show you guys quickly. We're not going to dig too much into AV Foundation. AV Foundation allows you to do really low-level stuff that I was talking about. It's kind of like it's not really AVKit. AVKit's the high level stuff that I want to talk about. AV Foundation is what it sits on, and that's where you kind of do your custom audio and video stuff here, and audio video capture, decoding, encoding, playback also. You can do like players and specify views, but realistically, this kind of stuff, you want to dig into once you understand, how to do the high level stuff. So basically what we want to do is we want to create a view that has gives us the ability to play something. So in this case, I mean, we're still using AV Foundation stuff here. So what do we need to do? This talks us through how to create a UI view. Now, we can create and configure a player view control, which is really what we want to do. And if we want to do it in SwiftUI, we're going to have to use SwiftUI view representable. And I haven't done that in a while, so we're going to open that up. UI view representable. Oh, there we go, straight away. UI view representable shows us how to create a view. There's not too much around how to do this. So let's see, is there something here? UI view representable, adding UIKit views to SwiftUI view hierarchies. SwiftUI with UIKit. Let's see. Well, yeah, no, it gives us a sample, but it doesn't really tell us. It's quite simple actually how to do it. We have, my represented custom view. So we're gonna create a UI view representable for the AV Foundation and give that a go. Not the AV Foundation, the AVKit. So we've got one here. It's like it creates an AV view control that it uses to play the videos in various playback modes. We have our delegate, which we'll want to set up. And I guess we've got the player here that we'll set up. And then we can set up whether we'll want to present in our player view controller, which will be our view controller. Getting started. Okay, so you create an AV player and then create a player view controller and assign the player to it, and then finally you present the AV player view controller. When playing full screen embedded in line or in floating PIP window, you can implement callback function. So, we have an AV player view control that we need to create. And we would need to have that. We need to have the view somewhere, right? So this is a view controller that gives us a view. Shows playback, view, transport. So maybe we don't even need to use UI view representable. If we just have a player and then play, we present. Okay, now we would need the presenting view controller to do it, right? So we'd still need to do that. UI view representable. So this would take a UI view. And we would have to have a presenting view controller. So basically we need to have a view, a view controller, and then within that presenting view controller, we would have this AV player view controller. We have this code here, which would take a AV player view controller, begin full screen, and then coordinator. So we can also do custom overlays. So this allows us to do embed inline. All right. So we have the view here that allows us to actually put it somewhere in our own. So okay. So we have the player view controller view. So here we go. We would have a UI view representable that gives us this and would give us update UI view, and the coordinate. Okay, so in a UI view representable, is there an example here somewhere? I don't think so. So it doesn't. See, that's what I found. You use a UI view representable instance to create and manage UI view object in such UI interface. Adopt this protocol in one of your app's custom instances and use its methods to create, update, and tear down your view. The creation. Okay, so look, I guess we can start by going through and creating a UI view representable. And we'll create a project just saying test AV layer control. Okay, well, scratch here, new project. And so essentially what we're going to do is we're going to jump in and create our new UI view representable, new file. It's no Swift, it would just be a Swift, no Swift UI view. Yeah, all right, I guess we'll need to create a new Swift file. So we're AV layer representative. And does it show us how we would use it? That's the other thing, right? So I guess in this case we would import obviously Swift UI, and then we would go class AV player view representable, so UI view representable, right? And that's going to complain that we don't have the right protocols, and we'll just add them. A UI view type. Oh yeah, we want to add type. Yeah, I guess UI view type would be UI view. Right. We do import AVKit also maybe. So it would be from UI view context, and so return us the UI view. I mean, in this case, protocol requirement make UI view can be satisfied by a non-final class. So we have these functions here, protocol software self body never. So it's a UI view represent. So it conforms to view. But it's not liking us doing this. And let's have a look. So we would jump into our little Google search and we would go UI view representable. So the documentation for UI view representable is just, there's not much there really. So we'd have to go and have a look around. But it shows us how to use it, but it doesn't tell us much about what we would do, how we would set one up. You know, put one here. Interesting. So it's exactly right, but why doesn't it look like? Maybe because it's we need to make it a struct. That's the only thing. See these? That's the only thing, really. To be honest. Requirement. Yeah. All right. That's pretty straightforward. So we would have like our AV layer control view. All right. So we would have a AV layer view controller. And we would obviously want to import AVKit, which gives us high-level functions, AV player, view controller. And we would possibly, I'm not even sure if we could, but we will try to just create an AV player view controller, and we would see if we can make to private and let, and see, we go var URL string. So we want to pass this in because we would need to create a player, right? So we've got like every time we make the UI view, we don't really want to create the player every time. So we may need to, well, for now, let's just make the player every time. Let's just see if we can get it to appear once. Here, URL. So URL string, and then we just go URL string. Dot player, okay. The value of optional URL. Yeah. So we've still got, you know, I'm just going to UI view like this for now. I mean, there we would want to add a log message or something like that. We would want to. So here, this is interesting. So this will give us. This doesn't necessarily create the view for us. We would need to create it ourselves. So in the case where we have this AV player view controller that is being set up, it actually, we get it set up within a container view, right? So we wouldn't want to have the ability in a way to set up the actual, I guess, the size, right? I mean, in this case, we could just create the UI view here and assign it and let the rest of UIKit and Swift UI sort out the size. So we could do that. See, we're not going to set a size or anything for now. I mean, this one shows us a hybrid map, tells us the update, and that's it. We don't have a binding or anything like that. So we would have, say, begin update UI view. This one here shows an example. And in this case is an interesting one because we do need some kind of class to handle the delegates. In this case, we can't use a struct to handle the delegate objects. So we'd almost need to create another class. Like, I don't normally do this, but because we're just testing stuff out, we got AV player delegate manager. You know, AV player view control delegate, right? The class object, just implement go protocol sub. Oh, it needs to be an NS object. But that's the other one because it's old Objective-C stuff. You need to do this thing here and as an NS object. Let's see, it comes up. There's no specific stuff that we need to implement, I think. Here, let's have a look at the documentation directly. We'll start picture-in-picture, player view controller, tells the delegate picture. So all of these things allows us to, you know, if we wanted to add controls to skip to the previous item, to basically start, stop, you know, we would handle them here. And the interesting thing is that you would want, you know, delegate manager. Then we would assign the AV player controller delegate to the delegate manager. In the case of the AV player, we would set it up. It doesn't talk much about, this is setting up the view for a Swift UI view, but essentially, there are ways in which you can, do basic playing. So in this case, we wanted to set up the delegate player item, actually. So player item. So we want to, okay. So we do have this, it asks us to pass in a player item. And what I'm going to do is, instead of doing a direct, in our call here, we have a direct AV player, but I want to do player item and a player. And the reason for that, is because I've run into issues where if you try to use URLs directly with a player, it won't necessarily work. And so we'll have a player item, which we have here, and it's non-optional. So here we are, we have this set up. We're going to, that's what we're missing here in the protocol stubs. Update UI view. Do we need to do anything? Not sure. Okay. Return, and then what we want to do is we will want to return this view, and we want to find a demo streaming URL. Cool. So we have like some test URLs, demo real master. Could try this. This work? Okay, whatever that is. I think there's just some funny stuff that's gonna appear. Let's see. HLS streaming. Okay, yeah, something. Yeah, all right. So we've got some free test demo stuff. So we'll go back to this kit here. We'll go to content view, and what we'll do is we'll just put in our test AV player with URL string, and the URL string here. And wow, that was nice. There we go. Now we don't have anything to actually play it, right? So we would just go to our AV player control here, view. Where's that little view? Oh, there is a view representable. So we would just go player item. I think we can just do it directly and start playing. Start on first eligible variant. Maybe true. Let's see if that works. And if we go back to here, build it. Will it play straight away? No. Maybe we have to go back to the actual player. And player dot start play. There we go. Now, if this works, that's it. We're done. We've been able to create a UI view representable. We've integrated that with UIKit, AVKit view, and let's see. There we go. Voila, guys. So that's it. Nice and easy. All that takes is just a little bit of time to read some of the documentation. Not only do I know how to do it now, I've taken my first steps into, diving into this AVKit stuff. Now, I have done it before. I know what I'm looking for. So that is half the problem, is kind of like knowing where to look. But if you know what you want and you go, oh, well, look, I want to play a video, and I want to just get something basic up and running. Here we go, 30 minutes. You can do it. You don't need AI. I'll see you at the next video, guys. Bye.